You're watching the Sporting Time Show with host Doug Thompson. Sponsored by Jewelry Barn and Pawn Shop.
Good evening and welcome to the Sporting Time Show. I am Doug Thompson, and it is postseason time for Kentucky High School basketball. And who better to talk with about postseason basketball than my good friend Jeff Woods. Jeff, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Hey, it's good to be back. You know, I heard that it was about a year ago when I came here, and phones were ringing off the hook asking when you were going to have me back. I found out those calls were all from my mom, but
Listen,
you take where you can get
I
them.
love your mom, and she can call me anytime. I did not block her. But obviously, you know, you were in this area for many years, sports anchor, sports reporter. You're up in Louisville, very much a part of the Louisville sports scene. You know what's going on up there. You keep your ear to the ground, as they say. And you and I have had many conversations, and we were on the phone the other night, I think, for an hour, and I have Matt Baston on the show. He's coming up next. He is the newest Foundation Christian Academy, is part of the 14th District now. We're going to talk to him about that. Warren East moves. We're going to talk about that in a second. But we started talking about postseason, and we have three boys basketball teams in the top 10 in the state of Kentucky. Warren Central, number 5, Bowling Green, number 8, and Greenwood, number 10, right?
It's been a while since that's happened.
It has been a while. We do have two teams that have been in the top 10 in the past.
Right.
But we've got, when we taped the show, those two teams had not played yet, Bowling Green and Greenwood, but one of those teams are going to be eliminated. And it just drives me crazy that the top teams in the 4th region will not be represented in the 4th region. Am I making too much of this?
Well, here's the thing. This is the first time, and I don't recall how long, at least in this region, where you've had three. Now, it's not uncommon to have 4 or all 5 teams in the 14th district, for example, doing very well.
Yeah.
But not 3 in the top 10.
Yeah.
So it's somewhat of an irregular thing. But I mean, you will look at Louisville, for example. There's an argument that it's harder to get out of the 7th region than it is to win the state tournament because the depth in that region is so deep. You can say the same thing about the 6th. So they deal with it all the time. I wonder if you really want to try to break up the current system. I feel like the system that they have in place is about as perfect as you can get because I feel like it's one big giant bracket. You're allowed to lose one time. You can lose one time in the district final. That gives you one mulligan. You try to mess with it a little bit. I don't know what that solution is. That's the thing.
Here's the thing with me. With high school sports and team sports, you get so much more out of it than just winning and losing, right? You learn to be competitive, resilience, adversity. You set goals, you make friendships, lifelong. I mean, there's so much more you get out of sports than winning and losing. However, with AAU and kids specializing in one sport year-round, they work hard to be the best they can. And for me, that's part of it. When you get to the high school, that's big boy and big girl basketball or football, for whatever it is. I think the best should go on. And they have all A for the smaller schools. They have 2A now, state championships, for a little larger schools. So they're beginning to bracket things anyway, so that smaller schools have an opportunity to enjoy a state championship. It's just weird for me, and I'll get over it. But there's going to be a really good team that's not going to get a shot to be that team that goes to Rupp.
Well, here's the thing that can be frustrating is, the 2 and the 3 seed, or sorry, the 1, 2, and 3 were determined by a coin flip. And I get that. So, I mean, that can be a little frustrating. So maybe you come up with a better way to determine that.
Yeah,
like
chess.
Chess. Well, I was going to say common opponents in the 4th region.
Yeah.
But I thought about a hot dog eating contest.
Well, we could handicap that. I mean, there's could be some that would be favored in that. It's free throw shooting contest between McCoy, Sherrill, and Unsell. That could be
true. Very true. Even a game of horse. The center has to shoot a 3 each time.
I like that. Well,
There's
listen, Jeff and
options
I,
are plenty.
We have plenty of options, and we're going to get to more basketball. But before we do that, we're going to take a short break. Matt Baston from Foundation Christian Academy will join me as they join the 14th District as the Falcons next season. More of the Sporting Times right here on WNKY. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Sporting Times Show. My guest today is Matt Baston. He is the principal of the upper grades 6 through 12 of the Foundation Christian Academy. And welcome to the show. First of all, very excited to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me today.
The big news is you are now a part of KHSAA, and you will be moving into the 14th District, and which is nothing new for you. You were at Warren East for a number of years as assistant principal. Mm-hmm. You know the 14th District very well, but congratulations and welcome in, and just kind of talk about the Academy.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me here today, Doug. We're excited to be completing the end of our 2-year probation to find out our alignment for the placement of all of our sports, and we're just excited about the opportunity to be a member of KHSAA because of the opportunity it gives to our athletes. We look at this as a whole school decision for all of our sports, archery, golf, cross country, our upcoming middle school program, which is getting started this upcoming year, adding girls basketball soon for middle school, having even our cheerleaders. So it just gives an opportunity for all of our athletes to compete in the realm of being recognized and having social media presence like even today, things that wouldn't be an opportunity if we had not made that decision.
And the philosophy going into this, which is very interesting to me because we deal with schools that have been around for decades, right? You're new coming into this, so kind of what are your expectations? First year, second year, do you have long-term goals?
Well, Foundation Christian Academy has been around for 26 years, but the school always ended at 8th grade. And when the board of directors decided 5 years ago to start adding a grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, to where we culminate this year with a senior class, we felt like the best way to get our name out there, to be competitive, to give our students a chance to be just like every other student in this area, was to join KHSAA. Yeah. And so that's why we made that decision. And we realized we're going to take some hits and it's going to be a growth, but we're already seeing the rewards of that. Being able to have Warren East High School come to our gym, Logan County High School participate in our gym is a pretty exciting thing. It generates a buzz amongst the students. It makes them realize, hey, we are somebody. We are just like everybody else. And that's our goal, is to be an opportunity for our students to have the same opportunities as they would if they decided to go to another high school or another area.
And I would imagine that attendance-wise, kids that want to come to the academy now because you offer and you're part of KHSAA, amongst the other things that you offer as well would be an attraction.
Sure, it creates an opportunity for a kid who wants to do something in a sport. They can now say, hey, I want to go to this school, but they don't have basketball or they don't have this. So it gives them an opportunity to come there and in a lot of cases maybe even get more playing time or an opportunity to grow even more than they would have if they'd stayed maybe at their previous school. Yeah,
and you're offering golf, archery, volleyball, boys basketball, cross country.
Correct.
You already have a couple of very veteran coaches in place.
We
kind
do.
of talk about that.
Yeah, we're very blessed to have a great coaching staff. Our volleyball coach, Lori Baker, has been with the Warren County Youth Volleyball League for many years, and she was our first coach to hire about 4 or 5 years ago, and she's doing a great job with volleyball. David Muckle, retired out of Tennessee, has coached all kinds of sports in the different places in Tennessee. Lots of athletes from his programs have gone on to play at major SEC schools. And so he just came on board to help us with basketball and just finished up his first season. We're very blessed to have hired Neil Mathis, who was the starter of the program in Monroe County Public Schools. And he has come on board, has moved his family here to Bowling Green, and he is ready to get started with our soccer program.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting. Let our viewers know how they can learn more about Foundation Christian Academy, where to go and to find out more information.
Well, sure. We visit our website at www.fcafalcons.com, and you can learn about our school. Also, feel free to look us up and call the school. We'd love to give you a tour and show you around.
Well, it's going to be very exciting. We don't have any Falcons.
No Falcons in the area.
In fact, I was thinking before the show, are there any Falcon teams? Now, Monroe County Falcon is in the fourth
Correct,
region.
yes.
But other than that, I'm not exactly sure. Jeff Woods, who is guest hosting today, will probably know more than I do. But congratulations. Look forward to having you back on the show, your coaches and your student athletes.
Great.
And good luck and welcome to the 14th District.
Thank you. We look forward to it.
Fantastic. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Jeff Woods and I are going to talk a little 4th Region basketball, girls and boys, who punched their tickets and who's not going to the big show. We'll be right back. More of the Sporting Times right here on WNKY NBC 40. Welcome back. I want to thank Matt Baston from Foundation Christian Academy, and good luck to the Falcons as they enter the 14th District and the 4th Region. Look forward to learning more about them. Jeff, I kind of got off on a tangent in the opening segment. You know me well enough that
You've calmed down.
That happens.
It's okay.
But there are several teams that have punched their ticket to the 4th Region tournament that starts this week. And, of course, Franklin Simpson in the 13th District, #1 in the 4th Region. Just kind of tell us how it broke down.
Well, Franklin Simpson, they have been the team in that 13th District and obviously one of the top teams in the 4th Region this year. Defeating Todd County Central in the semifinals to move to 21-3. They'll take on Russellville, who, if you're looking for a Cinderella story, that might be the team to look for. They're below 500, but in the playoffs, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. You got there, that's all that matters.
They're going to Dill Arena.
Exactly.
And they're happy about it. Now, in the 14th District, at the time of our taping, one of the games had not been played yet, Greenwood and South Warren. Greenwood 17-12, South Warren 10-18. Greenwood has had the Lady Spartans number winning by 5 and 10 in both of their contests in the regular season. So on paper, it looks like Greenwood would advance, but they don't play it on this piece of paper. They play it on a court.
Thankfully.
But Bowling Green at 24-7 has punched their ticket. They're the #1 seed in the 14th District, #2 overall in the 4th Region. Just an excellent team with Coach Head. So we'll see what happens. It's almost the same song and dance in the 15th District.
Yeah, definitely. Barron County, who has been, one of the top teams in the region for several years now, they're moving forward, as is Monroe County. Two common opponents that are going to, play strongly. Now, Monroe County, the second time around, it was a clean sweep in the regular season for Barron County. It was a blowout win the first time. Second time, the Lady Falcons only lost by 7.
Yeah.
So maybe they can narrow the gap a little bit. And of course, winning the district is going to be important because you will play a district runner-up, obviously, in the 4th Region. So while both teams go on, it's still an important game.
It's huge. It's huge for them because you don't want to lose the 15th or the 16th and then pull Franklin or Bowling Green.
Right.
Because more than likely they're going to be the #1 seeds coming out of the championship game. Now in the 16th District, Metcalfe County, they rolled. They're 18-11. So they've punched their ticket. Clinton County defeats Cumberland County by 1 point. Man, that had to be a terrific game. Clinton County is 12-18 on the season. And again, Metcalfe County has won by double digits in both of the regular season games that they've had. So look for Metcalfe County to win the 16th District. But it's really turning out to be, it's going to be a fantastic 4th Region tournament at Diddle Arena. On the girls' side, we just are not sure who's going to show up as far as Greenwood or South Warren on the girls.
Right, and I think, we're talking about these now. I know we'll get into it a little bit more, but, this is going to be all different next year when the realignment kicks in.
Yeah.
And you got Monroe County. We're talking a lot about Warren East moving,
yeah,
but Monroe County's moving too. They're going to the 16th District. That's going to be a 5-team district now, so you're going to have a play-in game just to get to the semifinals in the 16th. And, of course, again, we mentioned Warren East, and, I know we'll talk a little bit more about that as the show goes on, but
and
it'll be interesting.
The playing games, some people don't put a lot of stock in playing games. I do. And let me tell you something, in the 14th district, in the girls, the Warren East, Warren Central game, it was such an exciting game, went into 2 overtimes, could have went into a third overtime. It was amazing. And then on the boys' side, you had South Warren versus Warren East and on the boys' side. And, Caleb Matlock, he's a senior for Warren East, averaged 11 points per game, goes off for 26 points. Warren East wins that game. But the excitement of a playing game is almost like a semifinals. It's just, It was very exciting.
Well, and it ends up being Warren East's last win.
Yes.
As a member of the 14th district. And, nice way to go out. I know that their season ends prematurely, but at least they did get that one win before going up against Warren Central, who is obviously still going to be one of the top teams in the region.
Well, and, Warren Central was playing at home. Warren Central is a #1 seed, just a fantastic team, a lot of young legs, and it's tough when you play a tough game the night before to come back and be tough. So anyway, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Jeff and I are going to talk about the boys district and who punched their ticket to the 4th region tournament. More of the Sporting Times. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. And again, Jeff was my guest host today. And Jeff, we've been talking basketball. Nice transition tease you said about Warren East, last win, blah, 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 blah. And you were right. Where are they moving to?
Well, they're moving to the 15th district. I never thought I would hear that, a Warren County team playing in a district other than the 14th, but it's here.
It's here. And can you only imagine the open arms that McKinney is getting from Warren East softball and baseball?
Yeah.
It is going to make that the district, 15th district, already fantastic. But when you introduce some of those teams like softball, which state, they're just state contenders, finals, blah, blah, and then baseball, Warren East baseball, who turns out more, Major League Baseball players than I know of around here. That's going to be an interesting dynamic.
Here's what it really makes the 15th district in baseball very loaded from top to bottom. You may have a couple teams that are really good on a given year, but I'd say most of the time that 15th district, they're going to have solid teams,
right?
No matter what.
Yeah.
So now just getting to the district final is going to be tough. The bigger deal, and you mentioned it, is softball. Warren East has won the last 3 region titles. They've been state runner-up twice in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And now they're moving to a different district where ACS, former state champion, Barron County, Glasgow, always have solid seasons.
Yeah.
So that is really the game changer. You go back to the 14th district, well, that opens the door for someone not named Warren East, and for the last few years, someone not named South Warren.
Yeah, it's going to be a great dynamic, and we'll be able to see it all unfold right here as they make that transition.
It's fascinating. It really is.
It really is. Now we've got some more basketball we want to talk about as far as the boys teams that have punched their tickets to Diddle Arena, and I'm going to let you tip it off with the 13th district.
I will tip it off. I like that.
I always say kick it off, and I always hear about it.
Well, it's basketball season.
I know.
So in the 13th district, you have Franklin Simpson and Todd County Central who have punched their tickets to the 4th region tournament. Great season for Todd Central. 4th region All-A champion on the boys' side. Todd Central is having one of their best years in quite some time. So good for them. Franklin Simpson, not surprising to see them moving on to the region either. Yeah,
we had Dee Spencer on here a few weeks ago, and he's just got a really solid, competitive team. One of those teams that could be a spoiler. They're good. As you know, it's very difficult to win at Franklin Simpson. And it's just the fans are rowdy. It's a great place to play, but it's a tough place to win. When we look at the 14th district, of course, Warren Central, as the time that we taped, had already punched their ticket. We don't know about Bowling Green and Greenwood, and I am not going to project who I think is going to win that game.
Don't do that.
I'm not going to do it, but I will say that it's on a neutral court. It's at Warren Central. They split. Bowling Green is used to playing on that college floor. It's an extra 10 feet. But Greenwood has got just a fantastic team. I don't know. Let's just do it a coin toss like they do to figure out who was the first seed and put these guys together. But we'll toss it at lunch after the show. But 14th district, I don't know. Warren Central for sure.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that we didn't really.
It's hard to talk about, isn't it?
No,
it's hard to fathom a top 10 team in the States.
It is.
You know,
It is unfortunate. And I mentioned, you know, in Louisville too, we had a really good team up there at Western High School.
Yeah.
They were 23-5, lost in the semifinals of the district tournament, and that entire district is loaded. You know, so
Right.
it is unfortunate that the season ends, but again, I think it's one of those things where, you know, what is the alternative? I don't
listen,
know.
when I am commissioner of KHSAA, I will make some changes. All right, let's move
Yeah,
on to we got about a minute and a half. Let's
Right.
move on to the 15th district.
15th District, Barron County, not much of a surprise, is going
Yeah.
on to the 4th Region Tournament. And we don't know yet the second team, either Glasgow or ACS. But, you know, Barron County always going to put a good product on the field.
Yeah,
or on the court.
Glasgow's won twice during the regular season against ACS, but nobody cares because it's a new season. In the 16th district, Coach Messer, no surprise, has punched his ticket. And Cumberland County, kind of an upset against Metcalfe County in that district. So congratulations to Cumberland County because that was not supposed to happen. But Jeff, thank you very much for being here today, man.
Absolutely,
It's
it was a
always-
blast.
Having you here is always a lot of fun. And thanks to the great crew at WNKY for putting this show on. I mean, without them, it would just be the basketball. So anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate your time. And we will see you next week, same time, same place for Doug Thompson and Jeff Woods. Have a fantastic week. Good night.